Forgive my northern attitude. Oh, I was raised out in the cold. If the sun don't shine till the summertime, forgive my northern attitude. Oh, I was raised on little light.
What is going on, everybody? Happy Monday. As always, truly enjoy spending my Monday night with you guys, talking all things Cage Titans. It's Table Titans. Tonight we have a show with Zach Converse, which should be a fun conversation. He's a guy who started with Cage Titans in the Muay Thai realm. He was a face of our Muay Thai as we were trying to kick that off doing Cage Muay Thai. And then now he has since transitioned over to MMA, so he'll be a fun one to talk to. In addition to that, he is also part of the Air Force, and he is one of their recruiters as a sponsor for our event. So it's been nice to see him in a different role as well. So we're going to have him on talking about his upcoming fight. And then I'll be joined with Nick Heiler, who's our marketing manager with Cage Titans for the last 5 years, and just basically kind of chopping it up and discussing back and forth, like what fighters should be doing. You know, we always struggle with fighters where they say, I feel embarrassed to post about myself or this or that, you know, so maybe we'll just kind of break it down and talk a little bit about, you know, what fighters should be doing to promote themselves, how to kind of overcome the barriers of not feeling a certain type of way about posting about themselves. I know that's the number one thing I get a lot is the guys like, I feel weird just posting about myself. So kind of breaking down those barriers, talking about that, what they should be posting, what people want to see, what are some of the trends, things like that. So we'll have Nick talking on about that later. Big Mikey's asking for the phone lines to be open. So, yes, I'll throw this in here. As always, this link that I'm putting up in the comments now, all you got to do is copy, paste that in your browser, and it'll bring up your webcam, and I can bring you right on to the stream. Damn, looking at myself here, man. I should have shaved the old head before I came on tonight. It's not looking too good. I was about to say my hair's getting long, but when you're bald, it's kind of the sides get long. Anyways, and shout out to all the boys from New England fighting this weekend at Fenway Park for the first ever BKFC. I'm wearing my Red Sox Cage Titans as a little tribute to the fights going down this weekend at Fenway Park. Slippery Pete, Peter Barrett, New England legend Joe Lozon on that card. David Burke, Cage Titans fighter from before. And, you know, it is kind of cool. And people like, you know, you might think what, you know, I don't know. I don't know how I'm trying to say it, but like, I definitely feel connected to this event in some regard, as we were the first one to kind of break that Fenway barrier down with MMA by going to MGM Fenway. And the Fenway group actually owns MGM Fenway. And they straight out, direct quote from those guys, the success of the Cage Titans event and our community who really came out and filled up MGM Fenway. They were like, we realized there's something here with, you know, mixed martial arts and combat sports. And they went out and pursued trying to get an event at Fenway Park. So, you know, hats off to our community as well to try to kind of kick this off. So, you know, we should also feel proud of ourselves. Like we had a hand in bringing this event. You know, and I say that because I always am open and honest with our family and our community and things like that. And it was specifically brought up. So I want to share that with you because going into MGM Fenway for me, you know, it was double the crowd from what we normally do. And it was a big undertaking, and everybody part of our team was like, no worry, the fans are going to come out and support. They're really going to get behind it. And we sold that place out. And then now here, look what they're going for. You know, we were able to put 3,000 people in that building, sell it out. And now they're doing Fenway Park where they're looking at, I think numbers right now are around 8,000 for ticket sales. So good for them. I'm super pumped. I'm excited to see Slippery Pete, Peter Barrett. I'm super pumped up to see Joe Lozon fight. It's been a while for him. David Burke is really blasting onto the scene, and this is really a sport for him. He's just a guy that just bites down and swings heavy leather. So should be a great card, that I'm pretty pumped for. So maybe I'll see you guys out there this weekend if you're going. Maybe I'll do a little fun, like spot me in the crowd and come up to me, and maybe I'll get a prize or something for you. I've done that at events before where it's like if you see me, you find me. Maybe I'll buy you a drink, or maybe I'll do something else, or upgrade your tickets for September. Also, with that being said, as you know, we have Coop's Bar and Grill, which is in Quincy, Massachusetts. It is literally 18 minutes from Fenway Park. So I'm going to probably leave the event early, and I would love to see as many of our Cage Titans fans to come back and hang out with us at Coop's. We have live music that night. It's always a fun time at Coop's, so it'd be really cool if maybe we can get some people back there and just kind of have like a really fun night. A lot of times people say to me, hey, I'm going to Cage Titans. I really want to check out your restaurant. And unfortunately, my restaurant is 45 minutes north of Plymouth where our fights are. So this is the time that if you want to come out and have a good time and check out my restaurant, check out Coop's, after BKFC, I'll be heading back there. I'm sure Big Mikey's will be there, and we'll get a couple people and we'll have a little after party. We'll have a drink or two together. I'll keep the kitchen open late and we'll have some fun there and celebrate BKFC. Zach, if you're watching, if you want to call in, that'd be cool. Actually, so Nick, can you do me a favor? I just saw that Derry wants to call in at 8:30. So if you want to send the link. Derry Elderman, who's taking on Nick Eldridge, actually just got back to us and said he wants to call in tonight. So let's make some time for him and have him call in. I'm going to tell Zach Converse, you are good to call now. Let's see, get him on. So there we go. That's actually kind of cool. So we got Zach Converse, then we'll have Derry Elderman, and then we'll have Nick on. So we'll have a nice little show for you. But yeah, this weekend, BKFC, good luck to all the guys. Also, good luck tomorrow night to Gary Boletto, another New England connection. Gary Boletto competes on Dana White Contender Series tomorrow night. I know he had a successful weigh-in. And also, shout out to Ozzie Martin. He flies out this Wednesday to do his promo shoot for Dana White's Contender Series. We just got his flights all booked today. Flies out Wednesday night, photo shoot, medical Thursday, and he flies home on Friday so he can be there for BKFC. For his teammate. So should be a very cool time for Ozzy, our guy. So that's going to be an exciting little trip for him. Zach said he's having some trouble. Copy and paste this into your browser, not just click the link. Let me see if this will work for him. All right, Zach's trying to call in. Mike, are you broadcasting the Fenway fights at Coop's? So I'm not sure what the commercial licensing is for BKFC. I don't even know where they broadcast their fights, to be honest. But we'll figure it out. If you want to come hang out at Coop's, Derek, and you don't want to go to Fenway, I have a Cage Titans office, actually, Coop's. I'm sure I can pull up my laptop or something in the Cage Titans office and get us hooked up. So, yeah, that's a potential. So let me know. Just shoot me a DM. Anyways, we got our boy Zach Converse in the building, so we're going to bring him up. Let's rock. What's going on, Zach?
What's up, Mike? How's it going, man?
Doing all right, man. Just getting ready for ready for the fights in a few weeks, and you got a big one coming up. So I figured have you on and talk a little bit about training camp and all that.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Yeah, I just got done training. I'm here at Hook and Roll in New Bedford. Just got done training with Coach Bromberg, Andrew Valdina, Joe Poirier, and Jack Newton, who obviously is also fighting on the card as well. So that was pretty good.
Yeah, you're a guy that's kind of you started with Cage Titans doing the Muay Thai. You've transitioned to MMA, and what's that transition been like? And then how cool is it for you to kind of like add these pieces to the puzzle, starting off with Chip, who's such a Muay Thai specialist, and then adding to your coaching staff as you're adding tools to your arsenal You mentioned hook and roll. You mentioned local Lobo before, Bromberg. How has that whole experience been for you, transitioning from Muay Thai all the way to MMA, and the pieces of the puzzle that you're picking up on the way?
Yeah, honestly, I mean, it's been a smooth transition, and I got to thank my coaches for that. So they basically, you know, that's the beauty of martial arts is there's always a way how different martial arts can kind of blend. And for me, it was like, transitioning into jiu-jitsu and transitioning into wrestling, which is obviously a huge part of MMA. Like my Thai clinch was something that was probably one of my best attributes that I could kind of transition over to wrestling, especially wall wrestling, the stuff and takedowns, things like that, and even getting my own takedowns and Thai trips and things like that. So it was actually pretty cool to see how my Muay Thai stuff was able to smoothly transition into MMA. And obviously all my coaches are awesome, so training between Local Lobo, Pete, and then obviously here at Hook and Roll as well, Mike Bromberg, and then Josh Bellinger. Those guys have really, really helped me out and kind of shaped, everything together. It was kind of like taking different pieces and kind of, making the puzzle out of it. So, but it's been a great transition so far. I mean, I fell in love with wrestling and jiu-jitsu when I got into it. I've been wrestling a lot with Jaden Curley and some of his guys, and he's obviously a beast. So, I feel nothing but prepared. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you got a tough fight coming up, in your opponent. But before we get to that, I always love to talk a little bit of stuff outside the fighting world, too. And I mentioned it in the lead up when I opened the show. You have also talking about transitioning. You became a recruiter. You're kind of a sponsor at Cage Titans. You've been, doing it from a different level the past year. What's that experience been like, transitioning to recruiting to the military and things of that nature?
It's been awesome, especially being a part of the Cage Titans community, like not just as a fighter, but as an Air National Guard recruiter and being able to inform people of other opportunities out there. It's such a cool lifestyle to be able to utilize my fighting career to kind of help market, the Air National Guard and being, a recruiter and a fighter. It's been pretty cool to kind of mix both worlds. I've really, really enjoyed it. I've always loved like marketing and things like that. So, as soon as I became a recruiter, the first thing that came to my mind, I was like, oh, Cage Titans, I see all the other branches over there. I was like, it'd be really cool to get in there as, because I'm a fighter for the organization. So to be a recruiter, as well, and kind of have that partnership with Cage Titans, it's been awesome, man. I absolutely love it. I get to change people's lives in such a positive way every single day. And just let the community know what kind of opportunities are out there and opportunities, that I've been able to take. And it's just kind of, help make my life better. And yeah, it's been awesome, man. I absolutely love it. I'm loving it. It's great.
All right. So on that note, before we get into the next piece of conversation, I'm putting you on the spot. You got a minute to convince me to join the military. Give me your best minute. I'm getting the countdown on. Go.
All right. You're giving me a minute. You put me on the hot spot. All right. So, well, I'll let everybody know in the Air National Guard, we actually have what's called a 100% tuition and fee waiver. So what this is going to allow you to do, because college is so expensive, is this is going to allow you to go to any state school or community college in the state of Massachusetts completely for free. So we call it part-time blue, full-time you. So you can go ahead and be a full-time fighter. You can go ahead and be a full-time firefighter, a policeman, a carpenter, a plumber. And you will only have to serve 1 week in a month and 2 weeks a year and still get those full-time benefits, like being able to go to college completely for free. So how's that?
Man, you got me sold. You got me sold.
All right.
If I wasn't 45 years old, maybe you got me. Awesome. Big Mikey said it's been a pleasure working with you as well. Big Mikey, shout out to him who does all our military stuff and community outreach. So he's always doing a great job. Another fun thing I'd love to talk to you about, the experience of walking to your fight. The fact that you live 3 minutes from Memorial Hall. How cool is that? And what's that experience like? Being like, I'm literally, what is it? 3 doors down, 4 doors down?
Yeah, something like that. It's like right after the gas station at the corner. Like it would take me longer to pull out of my parking lot and try to find parking to get into the venue than it is to just walk over there. I'm on the same street. Yeah, it's like a 3-minute walk or something like that. So it's it's kind of wild. Like my last fight, I was like, man, this is crazy. I just grabbed my bag, put on my headphones, took a left out my door, and I was at the hall, like saw the line and everything, and just walked back home after. Kind of a wild experience, but no, it's cool. It's super cool.
Yeah, nice. So, fast forwarding now, to your opponent, tell us a little bit what you know about your guy and what are you looking forward to in this matchup? Like, what do you think he's going to bring out of you and kind of give me a little bit of background on how you feel about this matchup.
I think this is a fantastic matchup, in my opinion. Stylistically, I think it's great because I have a lot of striking experience. I know he's done some like kickboxing fights and stuff too. I know he was a wrestler. He obviously trains over at Bledow's gym, with like Vinny and Vinny Tedesco and those guys. And those guys are phenomenal grapplers. They're a really, really good team. I know Vinny very well. And actually, shout out to Gary Bledo. He's going to be fighting for Contender Series soon. So, but yeah, stylistically, I think it's a fantastic matchup. I'm really, really excited to see my offensive wrestling in this fight as well, and my defensive wrestling, because that is obviously something that I've really, really honed in on in the last 2 years when I transitioned to MMA, and I fell in love with it. I became obsessed with it. It honestly became like my favorite martial art, even though, I came from Muay Thai and just striking. So I'm really, really excited for this fight. As soon as I got the name and, started kind of looking into him and what Jimmy was from and stuff, I was like, this is a fantastic fight, I think, for the both of us. I think the crowd's really going to like it. I think it's going to be one of those fights where it's like, who can play their game better? Like I said, fell in love with wrestling. My tie clinch is one of my best attributes, especially when I'm on the cage. One of the hardest guys to get down. And I'm really, really excited for this fight. But like I said, I got to thank my teammates and my coaches for getting me ready. Those Sunday wrestling practices are brutal, with Jaden Curley and his guys, Andrew Valdino, Joe Poirier, all those guys. It's been a fantastic training camp. And I mean, we still got a few weeks left, kind of sharpening some of those tools. So, but other than that, I mean, I feel, nothing but prepared for this fight. And I'm excited. One of the biggest things for this fight too, I feel stronger than I probably ever have, because for this camp specifically, I really, really honed in on strength training as well. I was always like really focusing on conditioning, which is obviously very important, but the strength training as well. I'm stronger, I'm bigger, I'm faster, so I feel really good. It's going to be a good fight.
Right. Nice, man. Yeah, I was already excited for the matchup, so I'm even more hearing how excited you are for it and seeing kind of the full evolution and that next version of you coming out. And I heard big things about Charlie as well. Nothing to take away from your opponent. I hear good things about him. My last thing, kind of, you mentioned being at Hook and Roll today with Jack Noon. You have a slew of guys that are on the same card. You got Kai, Michelle as well. How's the vibes being able to get ready with other guys that are also competing? Is obviously you guys are pushing each other, and how's that training with other guys that are like-minded, the same date, they're trying to peak at the same time, everything firing on all cylinders?
Yeah, I find it to be better that way, because the energy in the room is always high, because it's like we're trying to help each other get ready for each other's fights. And especially too, at both of my gyms, Daniel Gracie Academy as well as Hook and Roll, being able to have a teammate on both ends that's also getting ready to fight. The energy has been completely high the whole entire camp. So it's been a great vibe. It's awesome being able to train both of those guys. And, for my teammates at both gyms, the biggest thing too is, it's awesome because obviously, my coaches communicate with each other very well, so it's like if there's an area that I'm struggling, they'll let my other coach know and vice versa, things like that. So it's a great transition, for the days that I'm at Dana Gracie Academy, for the days that I'm at Hook and Roll, and being able to have, fighters, teammates that are also fighting on the same card. So the energy has been high throughout the whole entire camp, and it's going to continue to be that way until fight night. So I am more prepared for this fight than any other fight that I've ever had, and I could say that realistically and confidently. This I feel better than I ever have. The strength conditioning is there, the wrestling is there, the striking is there. Everything's looking sharp, everything's looking crisp. I have nothing but confidence going into this fight in September.
Listen, man, you got me getting me goosebumps, man, getting jacked up just hearing you talk. I asked that question because I think on your first fight when you made your debut for MMA, I think you were the only guy on that card from your gym, because I'm not sure if you were at Hook and Roll yet. Were you at Hook and Roll for your?
I wasn't at Hook and Roll yet. I don't know if we had anyone. No, we didn't have anybody from Daniel Gracie on that card. So yeah, I was the only person from my team on that card. For last September.
Yeah, so you actually got to prepare now with a couple other guys. So that's why I was curious how that's been for you. But all right, well, hey, listen, man, I don't want to keep you in the car long because I'm sure you want to get home after training. The floor is yours. Thank your sponsors, anybody else, or give your phone number and your pitch and have somebody that might be watching hit you up to get recruited.
Yeah, so the Air National Guard recruiting will be in the house in September as well. They will have a table set up. So, if you're interested and have any questions, obviously I'll be in the back room warming up for my fight. Feel free to stop by the table, ask them questions. Feel free to kind of pick their brains, see what kind of opportunities they have to offer or that we have to offer. And then definitely, obviously, get your tickets and come out and support. Obviously, I'll be fighting that night. I'm really excited. Like I said before, this is going to be a fantastic fight. I'm super excited for it. I have a really good opponent, talented opponent. And yeah, I think the crowd's really going to like this fight. So, get your tickets while you can. And let's get out there.
All right, fine. I promise. I got one last question.
Yeah, go ahead.
On this card, give me a fight besides yours that you're looking forward to.
Ooh, well, besides my teammates, so shout out to Jack, and obviously shout out to Kai. Look out for their fights between Hook and Roll and Daniel Grace Academy. They'll also be fighting that well. A cool fight that I'm excited to see. Eric Wynn versus Ryan Woodside. I saw that on the undercard. I think that one's going to be an absolute banger. Both guys come from great teams. Both guys are fantastic grapplers, strikers. Well-rounded athletes. I think that's going to be a really good fight. So I'm really excited to see that. I'm always excited to see Cupcakes get in the cage. I mean, he is the absolute Cage Titans legend. So I think the crowd should really be looking forward to that fight as well. So all in all, I think it's a stacked card. Every fight's going to be fantastic. Love that you threw the Muay Thai on there as well. That's always a little good, mix up for the card. So, but yeah, I would definitely say Ryan Woodside and Eric Wynn. That's going to be a fantastic fight.
All right, my man. I love that pick as well. So there you have it. Thanks so much for joining us tonight, and we'll see you in less than 3 weeks.
All right, sounds good, Mike. Thank you. I'll see you guys in September.
All right, see you then, buddy. Thank you.
All right, see ya.
All right, there you go. Zach Converse taking on Charlie Wall Saturday, September 12th at Cage Titans 78. Thanks for Zach joining the show. And as I mentioned, shout out to Zach, who's a recruiter for the Air Guard. So if you're ever looking for a military, avenue for your life, definitely hit up Zach. It would be pretty cool. Next up, I'm super excited for this guy. I kind of hit him up last minute, coming to us from Spokane, Washington. He's in the main event taking on Nick Eldridge. I know his last name's Alderman. I can't wait to have him on because I think it's Derry. I'm hoping I'm right, but I'm probably wrong, so I can't wait for him to tell me exactly how to pronounce his first name. But without further ado, I got the man on now. Welcome to the show. What's going on, my friend? Can you hear me? You good? I can hear you. Talk. I can hear him. He can't hear me. We lost it. All right, there you are. Good? All right, let's see if he gets his – when he's talking, I can see his jumper. So he's let me see how – he's probably connected to his car. Are you on your car speakers?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. I can hear you.
I can't hear you.
Are you on your speaker? He can't hear me. Why don't you hang up?
Yeah, hold on.
Yeah, call me back. Yeah, there you go. You gotta love technology. So he could hear us, but we could hear him, but he couldn't hear us. Let's see if this works. Let's pull him back
Can
in.
you hear me now?
Oh yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah,
can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I don't know what happened there. Sorry about that.
You know what it was? Is you were probably connected to your car speaker.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, I just turned it off, so that makes sense.
Yeah. So, all right, so you got to help me out. I know your last name's Alderman. Is it Derry?
Yeah, you got it right.
Oh, okay.
I saw it previously. You're like, it happens all the time. Everyone like butchers it, but it's Derry.
All right, cool. I do always say on the show, Andy is our ring announcer and our commentator, so he meets with everybody on weigh-in day, so he gets all the pronunciations because I'm a horrible butcher of names. But I was like, I'm pretty sure it's Derry. But I wanted to make sure I got it right. Well, welcome to the show, Table Titans. This is an event that, a show that we do every Monday, just kind of shoot the shit, talking about fights. You come to us from Spokane, Washington. This is we've had a few Washington guys come out from us.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure John Simone, you know him?
Yeah. One of my old teammates fought him at King of the Cage. I met him that one time, but Yeah, no, I'm excited. I haven't ever been to
Yeah.
Massachusetts before, so it'll be cool.
It's definitely funny, the totally opposite end of the country, all the way over on the West Coast. Coming on, have you ever been anywhere on this side of the coast, or is this your first kind of traveling?
That's my first time like traveling over there, especially like I'm trying to think of like where the farthest I've been for like even a fight. I mean, I fought like in Arizona, Vegas, but I've never been that far over there yet.
Well, we cannot wait to welcome you to the East Coast. It's always a great time. We mentioned, John Simone. He's loved it so much. He's come back 2 or 3 times. He's undefeated at Cage Titans. And we really pride ourselves, like, not being that promotion that's just the hometown guys. So it's like we're a promotion. We fly people in from all over the world, all over the country, things like that. And we really make, our 155-pound champions from Canada. Our bantamweight champion for a while was from Florida, so we spread the love around. Our the guy that you're fighting is from New Hampshire / Maine, so he's from 2 states away. So we really pride ourselves on not just being a promotion where it's the hometown guy, beaten up and out of stater. We really try to show the welcome to everybody. So we're excited to have you, man.
That's cool. Yeah, no, I like that you guys do that. I'm excited to fight for you guys.
Yeah. So, obviously, first things first, like, I won't keep you long because I know you said you're at work and a couple things, but like,
I just got off, so
oh,
no
perfect.
worries. Yeah.
Give me a little background on who you are. Like, how did you get into fighting? What was your background before that? Let the fans know, like, just a little bit about you, who you are before we start talking about your matchup and things like that.
Okay. Yeah, no. So I started martial arts when it's probably like I was like I got into it like when I was probably like 6, and I didn't really start doing it actually till I was like 11. Just started off with jujitsu and then went into wrestling, and then plan was to get a scholarship, and then after got a scholarship, finished college, and I was gonna start fighting. So I always like had a plan to fight and open up a gym. Didn't get the scholarship, worked for a couple years, and just started getting into fights. Had like 8 amateur fights, and then turned pro, and then I opened up a gym with my 2 buddies. We were at another gym, and so we own a gym in downtown Spokane now. So we coach and just fight out of there. So
Very cool, man.
yeah.
And I think your teammates, who are the 2 guys that you opened the gym with?
Jose and Eric Mendez.
Okay. I was thinking Eric Mendez. I think we talked about to him about fighting before, if I remember that name correctly. I think I spoke to him about fighting, so a little bit of connection there. But that as you now transition in your fight career, and now that you got your start, like for a new Cage Titans fan, what should make them excited about seeing you step into the cage on fight night? Like, they don't know your name, you're new to them and they're new fans. Why should they circle your fight? And like, what kind of style you bring? Like, what should make them want to tune in to see you fight?
I think regardless whatever fight I've ever been in, I'm always like pressing the gas, just kind of trying to press that envelope, and I think too like just always moving forward and stuff, and like I've grappled for like quite a bit of years, but a lot of people haven't seen my stand up, and whether it's a dog fight or on the ground or on the feet, I feel like more comfortable now in my career to like mix it up. But I think regardless, like is going to be either a firefight on the ground or on the feet. So regardless, there's gonna be action regardless.
Speaking of that, obviously your opponent Nick Eldridge 7-1, 6 finishes. You're 7-3. I think 5 out of your 7 fights as professional finishes. I did see a few buggy chokes on there as well.
Yeah, when I was an amateur, my last amateur fight, I fought for Fusion Fight League. I got a buggy choke there against a black belt, and then I think it was my 5th pro fight. I fought for Fusion again, and I got another buggy choke. in a pro fight. So everyone's like, oh, like he's gonna like go for a buggy choke. I'm like, fuck that. Like, like people catch on to that too soon, you know?
It's one of those moves that like you hit it once and you can kind of shock somebody, but then it's like, oh, okay, now they know that's in your arsenal, so they'll definitely be scouting that to watch out for.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that people think that I just like all I can do is grapple and stuff like, but I'm pretty crafty off my back and on top, so I'm not too really worried about it.
Yeah, somebody actually in the comments just wrote a buggy choke against a black belt is pretty insane. Andrew Merriman.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, I was the first American to do it on a black belt. I was the first person to do it in the United States. There was a guy from Germany, I think, that got it before me, though.
Yeah.
So he had it overall. But.
Gotcha. I was going to say, I'm looking it up. 2021 was the buggy choke in the first round in a title fight as an amateur. And then you hit it again against Quentin Cotrell in the first round, minute 2 in 2024. It's safe to say, even, if you were the first American, you're definitely got to be the first one to have 2 on your record.
Yeah, I don't really remember. Like, I looked it up, like, when I first did it, and then I didn't really pay attention to after it. But, like, somebody told me that they looked it up, and I was like, yeah, I'll just write off that, I guess.
You're from Washington, or actually I know Chael Sonnen's from Oregon, but same part, like over there. He always says, don't let facts get in the way of a good story. So you're the first one to ever hit it. You're the first one to have multiple buggy chokes on your record. We're sticking with that story.
Yeah, no, I wish they were knockouts, but I'll take a buggy choke.
There you go. So, fast forward to this matchup against Nick Eldridge. What do you know so far about Nick, and what are you looking forward to in this matchup against Eldridge?
I was just like pretty motivated and pumped that we got it going because he's a tough guy. He comes forward, I come forward, and he likes to grapple and kind of get dirty in the pocket. So I was training for something. I just didn't know what was gonna come like sooner rather than later, and then this got offered. I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And then he responded back pretty quick, so he was down. So
yeah, it came together kind of quickly. I mean, all in all, it was pretty easy, which is great. I got to say, I've been running Cage Ties. Started Cage Ties 17 years ago. We've done over 80 some events. This was one of the easiest fights I've ever had to put together. Because normally when you get a record like yourself, 7-3, all your finishes, Nick 7-1, all his finishes, guys stop protecting their records and don't really want to fight. And when this name came across and you guys came back so quickly as a yes, and then Nick, who's sitting at 7-1, immediately said yes too. It was like, wow, okay, like there's no bullshitting with either one of these guys. They're willing to take tough fights, which is a blessing for somebody in my position. Because nowadays so many guys just want to pad records and take easy fights.
Yeah, for sure. And I kind of like got to the point to where like, if it ain't like getting me excited, like I don't really want to fuck with it, and I was like, yeah, like this is going to be a good fight. So that's what I wanted. Like I want tough guys, like, cause if I can't compete with the tough guys, like I'm not going to compete. Like it's just not worth it to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm sure with having your own gym and things like that, it's like at a certain level. I've heard it from guys who have now transitioned or kind of in the middle of transitioning from fighter to coach and running gyms. They're like, at a certain point, the gym keeps me so busy and puts food on the table or whatever the case may be. It's like, all right, like if I stop being selfish to put time in, like I either need to be all the way in and get fights that get me off the couch and really excited and tough fights to test myself, or I'd rather just know that I'm not competing at that level anymore and put the time, effort into the gyms.
Yeah. I mean, everyone like pretty much helps out. Like whether like if I'm in camp or whatever, like we kind of like, and if the boys have a fight, like everyone's kind of like, puts it on them to make sure that like they're taken care of and stuff. But I just mean like overall for like body and like skill wise, like I've never like I've been coaching for like on and off for like the last 10 years. So, I mean, it doesn't really, I don't really think of it like that, but it's just like, if I can't like put guys away with good records and that are tough, then it's like, that's where I'd like put myself. I might be 7-3, but I feel like I'm a lot better than that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I won't keep you too long. And I truly appreciate you, calling in, just to kind of, put a face with the name now as we talk about it for the next few weeks. I got to say, I wasn't expecting this look because the picture that I have with the big lion's mane of hair.
Yeah. No, I like every summer, like I bake my head or shave it as it just gets too hot. But
Yeah.
I was like, man, they chose a good picture. That was probably the best picture I had on a poster.
I got a shout out to Nick who's calling in afterwards, our guy who does our marketing and stuff like that. I said, listen, man, I'm making posters. Can you find me a picture of this guy? And that was the picture that he came up with. And I was like, all right. I threw it into like a cleanup app that just kind of cleans it up to make it a little bit higher resolution. I'm like, dude, this guy's got a mane of hair. Now they'll see you now. I'm like, you don't even look the same.
Oh, I know. Yeah, when I saw the poster came out, I was like, that's pimping for sure. Because I usually like some of these cards that kind of look ugly as hell, but that one looked good.
That one could be like, I could put you on the cover of like one of those romance novels from back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
awesome. No, I feel it.
Awesome. Well, Derry, the floor is yours. Anybody you want to thank, any sponsors or anything like that you want to shout out before we let you go?
Yeah, I think Post Falls Nutrition, Sports Nutrition, DTSAB, Roman Athletics Institution, our manager, Roman Ritchie, The Zone, Eric, Jose, Mendez, all my training partners, our gym, and Stallion Performance, of course. Like, yeah,
All right,
a lot of help, man. A lot of help from everyone. Appreciate everyone.
Awesome. Well, hey, man, I'll be in touch in probably the next, next week, this week's later on in the week. We'll get all your flights and all that stuff situated. And we'll see you in less than 3 weeks.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. Thanks for letting me call in.
All right, Derry. Thank you so much. Have a good one.
Have a good. You too, bro.
All right, there you go. One half of the main event. Derry Alderman. I'm glad I got his name correct. I was very nervous about getting his name wrong. I don't want to have an Oscar De La Hoya moment where you don't even know the names of the guys that are fighting for you. But to my defense, I know their names. I'm just not savvy on the pronunciations because a lot of the stuff that we're doing is just texting or emailing and stuff like that. So I see everything, but it's just like I don't really know how to pronounce it because you really don't get on the phone with people nowadays. That's just the world we live in. It's all text message. I can't tell you how long and people probably still argue, what do you call a meme? Is it meme? Is it meme? We'll have to ask Nick because I'm going to bring Nick in. I see him in my little window down here and he was open his mouth gasping when I said it. So Nick, I saw you already say it, man. Is it meme? Is it meme? What the hell is it?
It's absolutely meme. It's absolutely. It is indisputable. It's not like this is like the GIF or GIF like thing where it's like, hey, I could see how somebody legitimately could get that wrong. If you, I recall somebody saying that in a seminar and the whole place laughing. It's like, why did we pay this person to bring this in? Man, it's good to see you. How are you? Way to toss me in.
I saw you when I saw it. You jumped right. I saw your mouth just go.
I take very stupid things seriously. I think that's why I do the profession I do.
Yeah, for sure. Andrew Max in the comments, he goes, I never heard anyone say Mimi.
Well, it might take on because that Mimi is now a meme.
I'm a Mimi now.
Yeah, we gotta tell Louis that he's making more memes now, no more memes.
Speaking of memes, actually, I had Big Mikey in. He's also joined us. So,
this is sweet.
Oh, word! I wasn't expecting to come in.
All right, well, you can put a light on.
Big Mikey.
I'm outside, man. We were supposed to do something outside, but things happened. So
yeah, we were gonna do fireside, and then my kids start school on Wednesday or Thursday. So for me, I'm like, listen, I want to be able to do dinner. I want to be able to put them to bed and kind of get some semblance of normalcy.
No, that's all good, my man.
So Mikey's at the fire by himself. Nick's here.
I got the little guy. He's already asleep, so I'm single dadding it up tonight.
I got mine sounding like she's coming through the floor upstairs. She just got back from cheer practice and has not stopped jumping for the last 4 hours.
Oh, there you go.
Burn
Great.
that energy.
Andrew
Oh, dude,
Mack said,
football starts on Sunday. I cannot wait.
Andrew
I'm
Mack
so
said
excited.
the shot of Big Mikey smoking in the dock is an honor.
Yeah, we need a picture of this right here.
I got you, Nick.
Screenshot it.
Mikey, I got you big full screen. Give him a hit. There you go. Big Mikey smoking a cigar. I'm definitely not missing Big Mikey's blowing his cigar smoke against me. But Nick, I was looking forward to kind of chopping it up a little bit with you as well. Like, obviously social media is a big part of the Cage Titans game. Writing the playbook for regional and not even regional, any promotion, MMA. You don't have to be regional. Like what we've been doing for the last few years together at Cage Titans is just really, taken off. And I kind of wanted to talk about, kind of bringing some fighters that might be listening to the show, kind of up to speed, kind of what are things that you're looking for them as fighters. A lot of guys come to Cage Titans. This is kind of where I'm at. A lot of guys come to Cage Titans because they say, hey, we love what you're doing at Cage Titans. You really put these fighters on the map. Your social media game, that's currency. Back in the day, it used to be how many hits on your website. Back in the day before that, it was how many newspapers were delivered in your route, and that's how you determine value. Nowadays, it's social media. So I want to kind of ask you, people come to us because they see what we do. One hurdle that I have is that they say they come to us, they see what we do, but then they don't give us any ammunition. And one of the number one things that they say is, I feel weird posting. It's like, well, we can't post about you unless you post or give us stuff. So kind of talk us through a little bit of that and like what you're looking for from guys.
Oh, dude, first of all, that's a great lead in. Thank you. It's a good question. There's a lot to unpack there, but I would say the biggest thing is, that I see fighters having a versus, they have a hard time separating who they've been their entire life to now accepting it's like, well, now you're this whole other thing, man. You're a business unto yourself. In fact, you should probably get trademarks, licenses, and start tracking these things because you really are a business unto yourself. And if you talk to any of these, there's a lot of great information out there, but it's separating the fact that, hey, man, we can do as much as we can to promote around you. One of the great things about Cage Titans versus, I'm not pointing out or saying anything bad about any other person. What I feel what makes us different is that we kind of take the time to learn who these guys are. We care about and women. We care about who these fighters are. We want to learn more about them. And we set up a platform. It's like, hey, anybody's got a shot to make themselves a star tonight. If you go out there, have a great walkout, if you have a great performance, if you have so many great things, and then you have a great post-fight speech, and then you'll have your press conference, and then there's going to be all this intermediate content in the meantime, it allows you to kind of start separating. It's like, we get guys who are like amateur fighters and they're just coming out of whatever they've come out of and they're starting this whole thing fighter and they're it's like, okay, well, I'm a fighter now. Well, but everybody doesn't know me as a fighter. I'm kind of like trying to prove to them and to myself. And I understand that. So what I think that people I think when these fighters need to kind of understand, it's like, no, dude, whatever you were in the past, you can still have your personal life, but you're almost kind of creating a character, a business, an idea of yourself. I always kind of point to this. I think he's one of the best young fighters doing right now is Vinny Tedesco, who's out there at a Dana White Contender Series with Gary Belletto right now. I recommend just go looking at his page, and he's done a great job of making people excited about what he does and making cinematic stuff, making stuff that's indicative to who he is and brings people along on his journey with him that makes it fun to invest in him as a fighter. And I really do recommend that for any fighter. And when you think about it, he had a really short amateur career. He's just a new pro now, but he's built a profile and a draw that's probably as good as anybody in the Northeast. And I think what Zach Converse, what he's done, he was at the top of the show. If you look at what he's done, he's separated Zach Converse fighter, Zach Converse person, Zach Converse recruiter, but he's also married all those things and also gotten just comfortable with posting himself, making different types of content, training content, meme content or meme content, whatever you want to call it. He's done a great job of just putting himself out there and he's starting to see results. Why does Nick sound like Batman tonight? I don't know, man. I can't answer that one. But the biggest one that I would say, honestly, is that separation of understanding that, hey, you're becoming something different than what you were before. Like, hey, I was just like a hockey player, or I was just like a football player at one point, but then I turned into fighter. And the biggest thing that we can do for you is we'll take the time to recognize what makes you unique, what makes you special, hone in on that, accentuate that. So maybe you see things. Oh man, did I get cut?
No.
Maybe you see
brother.
things in yourself that maybe you didn't see. Like, it's like, oh, I didn't even know I was like that, or I didn't know I was that. It's like, yeah, dude, you're that. You just needed somebody to put the camera on you and show you that you're that. Now go be that.
Well, you hit a bunch of points. Obviously, there's a lot to unpack there, and that's why I was grateful to have you on. But even like a couple comments back while you were going on the rant, on a good rant, you guys are quick with the Instagram post when guys wins or get crazy finishes.
Yeah, that's needed.
Carter Whitty. That's
definitely
needed.
what I was going to say too.
Yeah, and I've said this at every pre-fighter meeting. I say this every week on Table Titans. I say it to anybody who will listen. Here's the thing. We're the promotion. Our job is to promote you. We're going to build the stage. What you do with it is on you. But I promise you this. I will have multiple cameras to record it, to take photos of it. We're going to capture it because that's our job. And I take great pride in that. And it's something that when I started Cage Titans, it was paramount to our success. When I fought, there was barely, I don't even have video. Out of my 5 fights, I might have 2 videos of 2 of my 5 fights that I'll never be able to, there's fights that I'll never be able to show to my kids. There's not photos of my fights. Like, just even simple weigh-in photos. It's like, there's so many minimal things that people could do at a entry-level basis. It's wild, that people aren't doing it. So I think Carter Whitty was correct. Like, we're going to capture those moments. And then another piece that you segued off was your fight is not just the only piece of the puzzle. It's the lead up to the fight. It's weigh-ins. It's the press conference. It's after the fight and your post-fight speech. It's your walkout. Like, every piece of this is part of your story. And then the last piece, because I don't want to just rehash everything you said, that I really like to hammer home is that bring your fans on the journey. Like, they want to be a part. They want to feel connected to you. So if you're hesitant on posting, the reason Cage Titans is different is because we get a crowd that's connected to the fighters. And how do you do that? You bring them along on your journey. So you might think you're conceited for posting a picture of you hitting the bag, but I promise you, your fans like to see, because if they're going to pay $100 to come watch you fight, they definitely want to see that you're hitting the bag and you're actually working, and they want to see the hard work you're putting in, because they're putting their hard work in the form of a $100 ticket. They're putting their hard work in the form of giving up a night with doing other things to come support you. So give them that reason to come along that journey. And so if you're hesitant, like, think of it that way. And that also segues into you're going into business for yourself, in terms of every fight you have is a little pop-up shop, so to speak. I got a fight coming up. All right, how can I make money off this fight in addition to my purse, my ticket sales, my sponsors, and things of that nature? And really, that one September 12th fight night is so expansive on how you can earn money and really make it work. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Cage Titans is a place and a platform where guys have shown that you can make a good amount of money, as much as you can, on a regional independent type circuit if you do the work. And now I can't stop thinking that I'm talking like Batman. But, yeah,
you have a gravelly voice tonight, Nick.
I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just smoking too many ciggies in the backyard, man.
A couple cigars.
You say something. How does your voice sound?
Oh, dude, I'm great now. Post-fight night, though, oh, man, I lost my voice during the Hillary Yoder fight. And I sounded like shit when we went live that Monday. And I was like, I'm like, I don't know if I want to do this tonight. And Mike's like, no, you got to do it. So then we ended up working out. So,
Nick, somebody said 4 ounces. Actually, Andrew Mack, he said, you know what? This solve your problem of having a fight video to show your kids. One more fight. Trust me, Andrew Mack. I've said this before. I'm not going to say it again after tonight. I am 5-0. I want to end at 6-0. So I'm 3-0 amateur and 3-0 pro. So I've never said I never would not fight one more time because it's in the cards. I have 2 submissions, 2 decision, and only 1 knockout. So my OCD in me always says one more fight that I have to win by knockout, so I can go out 3-0 pro, 3-0 amateur, 2 knockouts, 2 submissions, and two things. So we'll see, Andrew.
Oh yeah,
we'll
we
see.
could book that. We could book that for sure, and that would sell a damn load of tickets. And we know how we do it. We'd pick your gym, and like this is for any fighters. Like, okay, like, all right, you just booked your first fight with Cage Titans. Here's what we're gonna do first. What gym are you out of? Let's get you either the in-house photographer, videographer that's with the gym that does all our social media, be with you and feed you content for the whole time, or you go to somebody within your network and you can work out something. Say if you're, short on cash, or somebody's like, hey, would you do a sponsorship and trade with me? You get a press pass, you get some access, and again, like I'll give you your logo on my t-shirt, whatever you fighters want to do for that. But that keeps you in contact the whole way up. And then you have constant ticket links going out. You can go out to Ticketry, get your online order out. Then you get your ticket stack from Mike when he pulls up to the gym. As soon as Mike pulls up to the gym, you should be making multiple posts with the tickets. I've seen great things of like guys holding their own meet and greets and their own open workouts. So, hey, everybody come here, come grab their t-shirts, come grab your tickets, come watch me hit the pads, do all this fun stuff. But again, like what you're talking about, there's so many fun ways to market yourself now as a fighter. I think that guys just need to kind of get excited about the fact that they're a business and they can do all these stuff. And if you want to be a draw, you got to draw people in. And when they talk about sponsorships, how to get sponsorships, bro, talk to our guy, Jason. He's in the DMs every day, messaging 5-6 businesses at a time, setting up meetings, trying to put together sponsorship packages. What did Tom Brady say back in the day? Fish don't jump in the boat, guys. You got to go out and get it.
I got to ask this. Maybe, Nick, you can help me out. 4 ounces of freedom. Real shit fighters can learn a lot from this without paying that milkman doofus. I don't get that.
Hey, I know him.
Who's the milkman doofus?
He's a guy. He actually did. He likes us. He loves Cage Titans. He's somebody who does like social media advisements. He's advised a couple of fighters that we've worked with. I think guys like I'm not gonna dox anybody that he's worked with that I don't know about, but like guys like Aaron Hughes who have done a bunch of big numbers. And what the big thing that he says, whether you agree with him, whether you don't, put shit out there. Put stuff out there that don't be afraid to post. And again, like I really do feel like whether you agree with the rest of his stuff or not, you can go and do your research on him. He said nice things about us, so I'm not going to say anything bad about him. But I look at him like it's like, yo, dude, he's saying the most obvious thing of just post, guys. Say what you feel, say what you mean, join the conversation. Whether people feel some way about you, good or bad, at least they're talking about you and engaging with you. Aaron Hughes is driving millions of views right now, and it's mostly because he's just not afraid to engage people. And that's what most fighters kind of have to get past. And dude, dude, I totally understand, dude. We talked about this in private, like got nothing against Milkman. Not at all. I think the
is his name really Milkman?
Dude, that he used to be a fighter. That was his nickname.
Oh, okay.
He was a fighter out in Iowa, and now he's like doing social media advisement. He does like what we call in the industry yap content, which is to the camera, always in your face, doing that thing. I've tried a little bit of it. It's just yapping is hard, man. It's just it's like arguing all the time. It's hard.
Didn't we have a political person at our last event, like someone running for mayor or something like that? I see that somebody posted.
Senate.
A senator.
Yeah, a lady.
Some random,
whatever.
Some lady.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Yo, Cage Titans at the State House. Let's go. Cage Titans at the State House would be, dude. Come on, they did the White House. We should do the State House.
Hey, we should do something at Boston Common. How sick would that be?
The Gold Dome. Like, you imagine the walkouts? Like, we'll have guys like, dude, Cam will be like reading shit like gay TV and like, fuck it, whatever that says. Let's go.
So coming back onto topic, one thing that I wanted to talk about, because I think you hit it, but I kind of like to summarize and kind of hammer the point home. One thing that I see that fighters do that I think is a mistake and maybe a way to change their brain on how to market and sell tickets. Sell tickets is the thing that they're so focused on, I got to sell tickets. I got to sell tickets. And some fighters fall into this this rut of just saying, buy tickets from me. And then tomorrow they post, here's my link, buy tickets. I think what they need to remember that, yes, maybe that is your underlying thing, but there's ways to sell tickets without the hard selling of the tickets.
Yeah.
Yes, you're selling tickets, but here's a video of me preparing for September 12th, and then have your ticket link in there where you're not just begging. You're not just pouring yourself out, going, buy tickets. I'm a poor fighter. It's the only way I make money, yada, 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 yada. It's like, you can post that you're looking to sell tickets, and that's all well and good. But, sprinkling in that other content that is kind of below the surface selling tickets.
Soft sell.
Yes. Yeah. It's like, we post graphics for the matchup banner. Well, of course we want you to sell tickets, but our leading, you're not going to, headline every freaking post with buy tickets now. We need to sell this venue out. Like, you're not doing that. You're doing it with that. You're doing it with the post.
Yep. And also just giving the fight stakes and reasons why it's like, hey, this fight moves me along here. And one piece of advice I would give to anybody is just like, look what you like in other fighters, what fighters that you follow, and then usually that's what you would want to make for yourself. So learn how that's done. So say like I would say like if you like one of the Diaz brothers, like Nate Diaz's social media, it's like, oh yeah, dude, just kind of go with what Nate does. Nate doesn't post all the time, but when he does post, it's usually cinematic, black and white, cool music. He's doing some cool shit, and he kind of makes the aura of Nate Diaz. And that's something that you can cultivate with the right videographer, with the right photographer, and that'll be like, even if you don't even know who this person is, like, yo, this person's getting into a cage fight. I'd buy a ticket to see this guy fight in a cage. He's pretty sick.
You're funny you mentioned that. I used that example with, I've heard you use the Nate Diaz example a few times, and I actually used it. I know his mom's up in the comments. She said that actually the politician lady came to see Ozzy Martin. But I remember trying to get Ozzy
that's cool.
the press conference and talking to his dad. He's like, he really is focused on this. He really doesn't want to, And I said to him, like, listen, have him just come and do the Nate Diaz. He can just sit there and give us one-word answers, look like a brooding guy that just couldn't be bothered. Like he's just going to come and fuck you up. Like, stay true to your personality. We have one of the biggest personalities in New England, and Peter Barrett, that's fought with us. He's almost
remember career. Pete smoking weed in front of the hall?
Yeah.
While hitting the bags. That was. I know you don't like that, but I thought that was kind of cool. That was him being him.
Well, that's exactly what I was going to say. I was going to say, like, Pete's talked about it for many years, in helping our the brand grow some of our younger fighters. He's like, listen, I'm Peter Barrett. When I'm Slippery Pete, I'm just kind of Peter Barrett with the dial turned up a little bit. And he always talks about that.
Oh yeah, and you even look at like Ian, how that's crossed over where he's come out of the gates, as a big ticket seller, but also look at a lot of stuff that he posts. It's people that are like really excited in his journey. Where's this kid gonna go? This is where it starts, and the reason why it's like the same thing that his brother had is like when people have been watching him grow up and become the person that he is, that he's fighting in Fenway this Saturday. And you look at the same way with Ian. It can be done also from a very grassroots level. Like, Valdina, the guy who we like look at as the top guy right now, he started from, it's like, hey, I had to start with my own base and keep that base from fight one all the way up to here. And all these guys have that opportunity to make that. And also for people who are being like, well, I'm not a ticket seller or I'm not local to the area or something like that. It's like, well, think about it like if you're an opener in a band, like, hey, we're in front of this band that's got a ton of fans. I'm going to go out there and shred it up. So everybody that left that building was like, I came to see that guy, but whoa, did you see the opener? Dude, oh, I got to see that person again. And then it's like, they follow you. They see, it's like, yep, this is a person I want to come back and see. And now we have a good amount of fans in Cage Titans who are like, well, I started coming for this person, but you just eventually just start seeing all these guys and getting into all the fights, the possible matchups, and it becomes its own little universe that's kind of fun. Like you've mentioned, it's like having like its own miniature UFC ecosystem just here in New England.
Well, you on that note, you talk about like the opener of bands, and you kind of draw parallels to that. How many times have we got guys that fight from out of state? Like I was talking to Derry Elderman earlier, and it's like, we had the Party, who was our champion from Florida, became a huge star
Mhm.
just from fighting with us, and he had no connection. And he was a guy that people would be like, "Oh, when's the party fighting again? When's the party coming back?" Michael Dufort's another one. Came to us from Canada, wins our title, and fans are sending him a Boston Red Sox hat in the mail to wear on a podcast and kind of adopting him.
Wild
and he's a
shit.
guy who came into our cage wearing Canadians jersey and pretty much
He
got
played it
booed
up. He knew
Played
the
it up,
role. He
man.
played it up. But also people that understand that it's like there's the pay-per-view side of that as well. It's like, hey, if I'm an internet draw, if I can sell some pay-per-views, that's also money in my pocket, because with the Spectation Sports deal that we have and the link sharing, there is a good way to make money, which I don't think a lot of guys leverage on the back end. It makes me, it's like I always said, like Shameless Dawn should have like a shameless sales course for fighters. It's like, here's how to be shameless with your ticket sales, shameless with your pay-per-view sales, just absolute, make it really Wolf of Wall Street. But again, like, take from different influences, try different things. There's a lot of good ways to make a lot of good money in cage titans. But the biggest thing, it's like you have to treat yourself like a business. And if you started a business tomorrow, what would be one of the things you have to work in? Your marketing plan. How are people going to find my business?
Yeah. And and you mentioned the pay-per-view stuff. It's like these fighters through our deal with Spectation Sports is it's unheard of. You get $20 per purchase with your promo code.
Yep.
You sell 20 people that because you live out of state that want to see you fight. You get 20 people to buy that. You make $400 for what? You were fighting anyways. This is such a perk that Cage Titans has. Like, not only are you going to make money if you're a fighter, a professional fighter making ticket sales. A purse. You're gonna have an opportunity to make bonuses for your performance. You're gonna have an opportunity to make more money through your ticket sales. You're gonna have an opportunity to make more money when you sell pay-per-views. And then you also have the leverage of not only your social media, but our social media platform.
Yes.
You can sell sponsorships to. It's like, hey, listen, I'm fighting for Cage Titans. They got 50,000 followers on Instagram. There's a good chance that if I had a viral moment, you could be seen by, we do between 3 and 4 million views in Fight Month.
Yeah.
On fight night.
Yeah. So it's like, there's a lot of opportunities for you guys when you're fighting for Cage Titans to be able to capitalize on it. If you do the right things to capitalize on that money, then even if you throw in merchandise, t-shirts, somebody talked about Joe Giannetti. We talked about Peter Barrett, Vinny the Bull, merchandise, make shirts for every make shirts for every one of your fights. Get people that want to buy that stuff. If somebody can't buy a ticket, hey, you can still support me and buy a shirt. I can't tell you how many times I've talked to like Peter Barrett, Joe Giannetti. They're like, I can't come to the fight because I got a wedding that night, but put me down for 2 or 3 shirts, and and I'll definitely be buying the pay-per-view and watching it from the bathroom. There's other opportunities. So I think that the fighters just have to kind of embrace that element. And Chael Sonnen has talked about this at length as well. Like, don't think you're just a fighter, and that's what I just throw punches and kicks. Even at the UFC level, you are an entertainer. You are a ticket salesman. Chael would say, when I got to the UFC, I might not be meeting people on a Tuesday night and being like, here's $500, here's 5 tickets. But I'm doing that still because I'm promoting. I'm in my position because I'm promoting myself. I'm getting people interested. I'm still selling tickets, but not physically meeting them to sell tickets. But I'm in a main event, or I'm getting the opportunities I have in the UFC and things of that nature, title fights that we get, because I was selling tickets. Dylan Dennis sells tickets. There's guys that know how to sell tickets, even when you get to that next level.
Yeah, you'll pay to see me win, pay to see me lose. You'll pay to see me. That it's what you'll do at the end of the day. And I always believe Uncle Chael is never wrong. Uncle Chael is 100% right all the time, and he's the undisputed champion of all time. But one thing that also, again, and I kind of feel weird saying this, it's like the fighters also have to be willing to kind of be entertainers in a little bit and not be fraudulent, not be outside themselves. But like you said, turn it up to 11 a little bit. At a press conference, like Peter Barrett came with props and bars and things ready to go.
I still have the enema in my house.
Dude, Jay Perrin off the dome will just like go. Joe Penafiel, he actually at one point, I think with John Duma, just said, it's like, can we please just sell the fucking fight? But John is John, and we love John because John is John. But Joe would just at one point just do his head on. It's like, I'm trying to sell this goddamn fight, John. Will you just like I want to go out there, beat his fucking face, and I want to. That's just we got to let guys, and we got to kind of get back to guys, being fighters and talking and being entertaining again, and understand at the end of the day, it's like, hey, we're gonna shake hands. This is a show. This is a bit of entertainment. This is a sport. We're all here to learn, have fun, but also, man, let's light this place up, man. This is the Hall. This is Plymouth Memorial Hall. Go out there and be a star. And part of that is you got to go risk it a little bit and pound your chest a bit. That's what it's not being too aggressive. This is the fight business. If you're not doing that, you're not being aggressive enough to break away from the pack. And if you're looking at any of the guys who are on the top of the card or going to the Contender Series, that is one of the biggest things. They are hyper aggressive in their marketing of themselves, their positioning of themselves, and they make no apologies for them because it's like, yeah, I'm that guy. That's what I do. I'm the fighter.
Yeah, I think that also, on that note, we do a good job of walking that fine line, allowing that type of stuff to happen, but also not getting too messy with it. And
we're not Florida.
I know we're not flawless. I mean, we've had one little hiccup.
Yeah,
the party in Perrin.
Yeah,
but like that made for like amazing entertainment.
Yeah,
I thought that was unreal.
It made it feel like it's like we're having a fight.
Yeah.
People tuned in just to see that. They were like, "What the fuck? What is happening?" It's just absolutely chaos right now.
Yeah, it was a while. That's a while. Again, and I say this every fight speech as well. I'm like, listen, I'm not encouraging you to do anything crazy. I'm not asking you to do it, but I'm just saying. What do I say every time? Who wants to hit me?
Enough is enough. Blah, blah, blah. You get to punch each other in the face tomorrow.
I give that every speech. I say, listen, I'm not telling anybody to manufacture anything. We're going to have stare downs. We're doing the weigh-ins. I'll let you have a little bit of rope. But like I tell my kids, when enough's enough, enough's enough. And, we've always had a pretty good relationship with our fighters that will toe that line. And when I do say enough's enough, enough's enough.
And you could even also be like George St. Pierre. It's like, I was not impressed with your performance. Just things to be like, give us some stuff. Like I was watching old UFC stuff, like, red letter UFC stuff. And you knew that sometimes guys were just hamming it up, but they were having fun. It made it fun. And again, you don't have to be a weirdo character unless you want to be. That's a fun thing to do too. Josh Hokett's doing pretty good with it in the UFC, being an absolute loon. But again,
Jesus Christ, he is.
But you don't have to take it to that extent, but also understand that again, to bring it all back together, it's like, hey man, separate yourself from who you are in your day-to-day life or who you may have been before. You're a professional fighter now. You're a business unto yourself. You can make yourself into anything you want to be. And if you've had a vision of yourself, like, oh, when I walk out, I want to be like that, you get to do that. It's like, oh man, if I had a hype video, it would look like this. Like literally make that. It's like, if I had to like restart my page over, I do it like that. Literally start a new page and make it at MMA with your name, so you're actually searchable. Like one thing for fighters, you can unprivate your pages and also make your name searchable. That would help us tremendously for those who have not.
Yeah.
Which is also antithetical. How do you have a private page and you're trying to be like a public business and a prize? How does that work?
Yeah. Absolutely, Nick, man, it's great to kind of chop it up a little bit about this type of stuff because there's so much in our banks. With me, I've always stated, like, my background was in marketing and sales, and when I started Cage Titans, it was like I fought for companies that didn't know how to fucking market or sell anything, and they just were like, sell us tickets. They just looked at us as basically extended sales force and made us do it, and would give us no tools. Like that's not the case with Cage Titans. We're going to give you the tools, but like, you got to do a little bit with us and work with us. And, we're going to make sure we can do our part in marketing and promote you. But there's so much in our minds that we have, Nick, so much in your minds, like with more like the cutting edge stuff, like the new stuff, like, you're on top of it. I think that's what separates us as well. Like we're not, I don't want to say we're ahead of the trends, but like our fingers on the pulse of trends, where we're doing stuff immediately and getting out in front of it.
Yeah, we're also afraid. We're not afraid to take risks, make fun of ourselves sometimes, be a little unserious at the expense of ourselves, never our fighters, and also understand that we're genuine fans of every fighter that gets in there, and we genuinely appreciate everybody that shows up to our shows, that engages with our content. it's not nothing to us. We appreciate all of it. So again, that's why we are Cage Titans, guys. You know, it's like I wouldn't want to be doing any other job in mixed martial arts other than this one, honest to God.
Yeah.
Unless could we do something like the State House would be great. Cage Titans Hawaii or something like, you know,
Oh, here we
Cage
go.
Titans cruise has been floated around. I know, like, but like a full big ass cruise. We can go down to Aruba.
Jesus Christ. Listen, we during COVID, we almost did a Cage Titans on the barge. Josh Belanger, who was mentioned earlier, he owns a couple barges. And he was
Mikey,
like, I'll
you
throw your
down?
cage right on the barge. And he's like, they can't get us in the water, so we'll do what we want. I'm like, oh, maybe if this lockdown happens anymore or any longer, maybe that's the play.
I'm still trying to get, us to do a face-off in front of the Mayflower before it goes.
Well, I think
we gotta.
That's something that I'm working on right now behind the scenes real quick.
Well, I think
gotta
September would be perfect for it because now that we have the Starlink, we did the
Thanksgiving November card.
We could do Thanksgiving, but I think that the Mayflower is way gone.
I think the Mayflower is gone by then. I'm trying to time it out. I'm trying to like poke holes and see, like, just so we don't get in trouble. And so there's no issues or anything like that. I want to make sure we do things kind of correct.
Well, I think that I can, Mikey, I think hit me, obviously we talk every day, but like,
yeah, we've talked.
We can get Joe Goldberg involved in that because I'm pretty sure there's a town connection. So we can kind of get that. And maybe with the new Starlink that we have now that we have internet everywhere. That's always a big thing. It's like, I've always wanted to take our weigh-ins and ceremonial stuff to sites around Plymouth, but we were always kind of handcuffed.
You get that fucking credit, Mike. Let me get that fucking credit.
Now we got the Starlink, and we can go anywhere. We can just put that Starlink up. It has, as long as you can see the sky, we got internet. Shout out to Elon Musk, even though some people probably don't like him anymore, but whatever. He has a cool product in the Starlink, so we got it.
Is what it is.
I think the outside shit is amazing.
Rob Pico, I want you to throw your book thing up. So Rob Pico, one of our super fans, has published now, I believe, 2 books, Mikey. You can maybe help me out. And I think
he's on to 3 now.
Wow.
He's been pumping them out.
And what, Mikey, have you, I'm not going to say that I'm not a reader.
I bought one.
Yes. Have you read it?
I'm in the process.
Right answer.
It's something that I pick up while I'm at work and I'm just going through, and then we get a call and then I got to go. And then I kind of, I got to just
Nick's
get back into
on his
it.
Shelf. Does he have it?
No, I don't have it, but if he wants to send me a book, I got the shelf.
Yeah, I see the bookshelf back there. But Rob, why don't you throw your link to your book up there? He said, I'm pumping them out faster than my kids. All right, so then pump up the fucking link and throw it in here so I can post it up so we can get you guys, maybe somebody will go purchase it and support you, man.
Oh, dude, that's sick, man.
Before we run, Mikey, before I let you go, why don't you, I'm going to make the floor yours a little bit.
Floor's mine?
Floor's yours. Why don't you tell everybody a little bit about the back to school drive, because we only got about 2 more weeks left in that. And tell them how to get back for that before we let you run.
All right, guys. So we're still collecting for the back to school drive. I'll be collecting whether it's you personally message me and you Venmo me a couple of bucks. I'm going to do the final shopping soon, probably before the event. We're still going to be collecting all the way through the event, and probably about that Monday is when I'm going to go do the final drop-off. I did a recent drop-off recently that I haven't really talked to you about it yet, Mike, but they were asking if we could just do one earlier. But I'm going to be collecting all the way through. We're going to, give back to the community that we live in, that we fight in, that we just, it's so important to just kind of, the kids of the future, so let's just give them back to them as much as we can. And that's all I really have, man. And then you got some other goodies working behind the scene too. And yeah, that's all I got.
Well, right after we do the back to school, we'll roll it into the adopting the families and the toy drive for Christmas. So Mikey's always doing the great things with the community, also with the military.
That was awesome.
Great opportunity. Why I have you on, Mikey. We are obviously, this is the 25th anniversary of 9/11. So we would like to do something. We always do the intermission with recognizing people from the military branches. So if there's anybody that we know or part of the Cage Titans community that was part of the first responders that responded down 9/11 in New York. We would like to do a tie-in as part of our military tribute. Seeing it is the 25th anniversary of 9/11. It's actually also the 15-year anniversary of Cage Titans. Our first ever show was Cage Titans United, which happened to be in 2011. It was September 10th, 2011, on the 10-year anniversary. That was the first time we came to Plymouth. And we did the show called United, and it was all, 9/11 based and supportive of that. And we've never left. So, we would love it if anybody is connected to anybody as part of the, 9/11 first responders.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking. I'm even going to try to get maybe a couple of Plymouth firefighters down, maybe hold the flag or something. That's something that I want to work on. So maybe if we can get a couple firefighters in there, we'll probably get our police department in there as well, just to, just kind of come together, because it's just really important for that day to never be forgotten in American history.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, thank you so much, Mikey. Get in touch with Big Mikey if you have any connections and if you want to get a part of the back to school drive. So Big Mikey's kind of quarterbacking all that stuff. So thanks, Big Mikey. This Saturday, come hang with us at Coops, right? We're hanging out at Coops this Saturday for BKFC.
I might drop by. We'll see. I'll support
I'm gonna
the
be
BKFC
at Banana
guys,
Ball.
but, we'll see.
Is it Banana Ball?
Yeah, I'm going with my nephew to Banana Ball. I'm so excited. I really wanted to go to BKFC. We definitely will have a lot of Cage Titans friends and family in the house that night. But yeah, I gotta go. I gotta go watch Banana Ball because that might be the only baseball we get next season.
There you go. All right, Mikey, I'll talk to you afterwards. I might have some tickets for us for BKFC anyway, so I'll keep you in the loop. All right, there you go. What do you say, Mr.
Liam?
Yes. So what's going on, Liam? I'm trying to get Rob Pico's book link. I don't know if you guys can see it.
So is he writing like nonfiction? What is he writing?
Hold on.
Fiction? What is he writing?
So he's
history?
doing. I believe it is military-based fictions. What is it? Nonfiction? I always fucking mix up the two. I'll be quite honest. Whatever the fake version, it's not real. I mean,
Fiction.
Yeah. Here we go. He just posted.
Also, kind of like Tom Clancy-ish, where it's loosely based on real military operations, but exaggerated for kind of just like, oh, this is sick.
Let's see if he. Man, I can't click that link. I don't know. I don't know. I was gonna say, let's see if we can.
One book that I also did want to, maybe this is something like it's a time for later. It's like I always wanted a Cage Titans coffee table book of all of our gnarliest pictures and stuff like that. Just a big book of pictures that you could just put and flip on your like coffee table or something.
Okay. Let me see. Okay, here we go. Rob Pico. Drawing inspiration from military families, working class grit, personal perseverance, and a deep respect for those who serve. Rob writes fast-paced, grounded thrillers with heart, action, and a legacy at their core.
Okay, I like that. That's it. There's definitely something there.
So, Rob Pico is the founder of RP Press Publishing, the author behind the Eli Vance Ghost Squad military thriller universe. His stories are built around courage, sacrifice, brotherhood, loyalty, and the lasting impact of the choices people make when everything is on the line.
Word.
All right, cool.
Oh, yo, dude, that's a good. Dude, I just like that he's putting out books and putting out stuff. And again, bring it back to the market, guys. Just put the stuff out there. Like, there's so many fighters that are just getting ahead by just posting more of their stuff. Like, I can think of a couple fighters off the top of my head that just like made an active effort to start like, hey, I'm gonna post this meme I want to do. I think it's funny. Or I'm gonna post this training video or this video of me hitting the bat. This picture I think is dope, and I'm gonna write a caption about it. Just posting, and it makes all the difference in terms of like, hey, like the fans are a little bit louder when I'm in the cage, and my ticket sales went up. It's like I had the confidence to put out a shirt because I knew people were like asking me, hey, you have a shirt, you got it. If you're not into it, how is anybody else gonna be into it?
So he said he's doing military thriller series and donated a portion of the profits to the Fisher House Boston.
That's awesome.
And now he's starting a few crime thrillers And 4 Ounces of Freedom said his books are also on Kindle Unlimited. So there you go. For all you book readers out there. Well, Nick,
you could do 30 pages a day. That's not too crazy. 30 pages a day. Like that's like you do that over your cup of coffee, or in your case, your Monster Energy in the morning, and you feel great. You feel like a smarty pants.
There you go. So, Nick, I challenged Zach Converse, who was obviously, in addition to fighting, the Air Guard recruiter. I said, you got a minute. Yeah, I'm a young fighter. You got me for a minute, Nick. Get me sold on what I need to do and why I should do it in the social media game. Ready?
You're a business.
Go.
No. Hey guys, if you're a fighter and you're just starting out, understand that you are now a business. And what's the first thing you would do if any business? You would market that business. Otherwise, people will not want to buy into that business. So taking the time to step outside of yourself, to sell yourself, it takes a little bit of courage. But keep in mind, you have the courage to step into a cage and fight people. So posting a trial reel or posting a photo should not be that terrifying for you. You shouldn't feel self-conscious about that. Also, if you're worried about what it'll do to your mental health, what people might say, what people might think, just understand you can't control that. That's all in your head. All you can focus on is the work and your performance. Focus on that. You'll be good. If you need any help, reach out to Sonic Films, reach out to Cage Titans. We always got you.
Boom. I love it, man. That was very nicely done. You and Zach, you guys crushed it. I love it.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Zach's got to sign those kids up, man. We know. He's in sales.
Nick,
he knows.
Man, I definitely appreciate you joining me tonight. It's always good to kind of, just kind of let people know, pull back that curtain and know what we do, why we do it, how we do it, why they should do it. And the ultimate thing is why you come to Cage Titans is because of what we do. So jump on board, and you got to kind of help us out a little bit sometimes. That's I've had many of conversations. I'll leave you at this. I have many conversations with fighters over the years that will yell at me and be like, "Oh, dude, you only post the same guys all the time." And I'm like, that guy posts every day. So it's easy for me to say, share his story on our page. He sends us pictures of his training room and says, hey, use these if you guys want to post some pictures about me. That's why we post. There's certain fighters who get a share every day and a post every day is because they're posting every day and they're doing it. And it's like, if you haven't posted, you and I look at people's social media. It's like, you haven't even posted that you were fighting. You haven't posted on your page in 3 fucking months. How am I supposed to post something? I'm not a fly on the wall in your gym. Like, I got to get it somehow.
Exactly.
So,
you know what? Just be a salesman. The best fighters in the world, the biggest fighters in the world are the best salesmen in the world. Like Conor McGregor, say what you want about his fighting ability. Dude could sell shit to a toilet.
and on that last note, I have an 18-year-old son. And I will say this, pulling back the curtain. He has social media and he never fucking posts. And I think that there is a demographic of the world nowadays. Everybody wants social media, but they don't want to post. They have it and they just don't want to post. So if you don't want to post, I'm going to tell you this right now. If you don't want to post, then just fucking take a picture at the gym, send it to us, and we will make the post for you. So maybe if you want to have a little disconnect of like, oh, I'm not posting selfies of myself at the gym. Cool. Then don't do it. Just at least take the damn picture and send it to us, and then we'll post it because then you can share it so it's not like you're doing it of yourself. How's that? Can that be the blend for some of you guys? Like that say you don't want to post, then just take a picture and send it to us and we'll do it so it looks like you're not doing it. Because I think that's kind of another thing that kids nowadays, I know I'm sounding old, but kids nowadays are like, they want pictures of themselves, but they don't want to post them themselves because there's some sort of weirdness to it, I guess.
Yeah, we provide the buffer of being like, no, we're posting about you because we think you're awesome. I wasn't posting about myself. Come on, guys. I'm just over here doing the work and living my life, which completely understand. And I do got to put my daughter to bed, and I could keep talking about it. But yeah, fighters, if you ever need any help, we have your footage. We have your photos. If you need help and ideas, we're always here to help.
All right, brother. Hey, great having you. I'll talk to you later.
Talk
Talk to you later. Bye. Peace.
Later, bro. All right, there you go. So there you go. Great show tonight. Thanks for everybody who joined us. We were joined at the very beginning by Zach Converse fighting Charlie Wall Saturday, September 12th, Cage Titans 78. Zach was able to kind of talk us through his transition from Muay Thai, because he started with Cage Titans as a cage Muay Thai fighter, through his Muay Thai career. Now he's making his second MMA fight for us, how he's added to his arsenal and how it's been transitioning from Muay Thai into cage fighting in the MMA world. And then he was also opportunity to kind of let us in on his other side of his life, which he's a air guard recruiter, and how that's been and how he enjoys that. And then the cool fact, I always just love it, he lives 4 houses down from Memorial Hall. So the coolness of being able to walk 4 houses down and fight in your hometown, in your venue. So that's always pretty cool. Then we were joined by Derry Alderman, all the way from Spokane, Washington. He talked to us a little bit about how he and a couple of his teammates started their own gym out there, why you should want to watch him fight. He's always in exciting fights. How he's also recorded the first ever buggy choke in America in an MMA fight. And not only does he have 1 buggy choke on his record, he actually has 2. And we're calling it right now. He's the only fighter in history that have 2 buggy chokes on his record. So he said, look forward to seeing him fight. He's always bringing it. Don't just think he's a grappler. He loves to throw and throw down as well. So we're looking forward to seeing him in the main event when he takes on Nick Eldridge for the Cage Titans Bantamweight Championship. And then finally, we were joined by our man, Big Mikey, and Nick Heiler from Cage Titans. Big Mikey, superfan Big Mikey, he's been in charge of our community relations with doing the back to school drive, which is still going on until September 12th. We're collecting things all the way up until fight night. We've already done a few drops at the schools. Talked a little bit about the military and things like that. So Big Mikey joined the show. I felt bad. I left him hanging. We were going to do the fireside show tonight, but he had the fire set up for nothing. So he joined the show and did a little solo from his fireside. So shout out to Big Mikey. And then me and Nick just had an opportunity to kind of chop it up. You know, Nick joined the team 5 years ago, really taking over social media and the marketing side of things for us, which up until he was around, it was all me, you know, from day one. You know, I did all the marketing, all our social media pages. I still do all our graphic design, but really having Nick join the team 5 years ago has really taken us to the next level as I age out of social media, because I'm an old man now. And then obviously we also have Louis Linton, who has joined the team as an intern and has graduated from intern to a full member of the team on our social media side. So, you know, that's been a lot of fun. So we were able to kind of talk a little bit with Nick about why it's important to post, what you should be posting, what you should be doing. You know, so that was kind of what we had going on with Nick. And I think that's pretty much it. BKFC's this weekend. That's why I got my Fenway shirt on, Cage Titans Fenway shirt on. BKFC this weekend. Peter Barrett, Joe Lozon, Jake Pilla, David Burke, a lot of guys from New England competing on this event. Should be fun. I think I might do something fun where, you know, spot me at Fenway and we'll do like a ticket upgrade or first drinks on me or something like that. So we'll do something there. We'll announce later this week. In addition to immediately after BKFC, you guys all know I own Coops Bar and Grill in Quincy, Mass. So many of you guys reach out and say, oh, I want to go to Coops when you're in town for the fights. And then you find out that the fights are in Plymouth. My restaurant's 45 minutes north in Quincy, Mass. It's only 18 minutes from Fenway Park. So here's your chance to come by Coops Bar and Grill. Check out my restaurant. It was the longtime host. We have a Cage Titans studio there where we did Table Titans there for probably about 8 years. The studio is still in the basement. We have an old cage mat. We like to bring people down and they can sign the cage mat on the wall. And then also Coops Bar and Grill, like we get all the UFC event, pay-per-view events. They show all of our fights for Cage Titans. You know, so if you want to come down and check out my restaurant, I'll keep the kitchen open late. We'll have some cool drink specials and things like that. Take a couple of shots, have a couple of drinks with me and the crew. And so that will also be going down Saturday after the BKFC event. And that's that. I think that's kind of it. Somebody asked, is there going to be an MGM card before the end of the year? Noisy Mermaid. We're going to kind of hold the MGM cards to once a year for right now. So we're going to shoot for January, February of 2027. We were thinking about squeezing another one in before the end of the year. The way things kind of turned out, we just kind of internally made the decision that let's for now keep it to that once a year, Super Bowl type of event. Fighters that are wanting to get on it, the opportunities to get on it, are fighting for Cage Titans throughout the year, and kind of preferential treatment will go towards guys who are competing for us regularly and getting opportunities to fight on those type of Super Bowl cards. Highly recommend Coops. We love Andrew Mack. Andrew Mack's always there for the pay-per-views. They're not pay-per-views anymore, but the UFC numbered events, we have them. We're always showing them. We're a very fight-friendly bar where we have the fights, Dana White Contender Series on. We have the fight night cards, all that stuff. So it's a great sports bar in Quincy. Like I said, it's about 18 minutes from Fenway Park. So come on by and hang out with us there. And that's it. We're less than 3 weeks away. Saturday, September 12th. Tickets are on sale. Currently, hit up any one of your favorite fighters to get tickets. If you can't get in touch with your favorite fighter to get tickets, you can always go to cagetitans.com. Get your tickets. What else? Fight week schedule will be out later on this week. We'll be doing an open workout. We're doing a press conference, all that fun stuff. We love that. People come to all those events. Shout out to Ozzie Martin on the Contender Series bid. He actually flies into Vegas this upcoming Wednesday to do his photo shoot and promotional videos on Thursday. So shout out to him. Got that going on. But yeah, man, I hope you guys had a great summer. If you have kids like me, my kids start school this week. My 18-year-old, I dropped him off at college last week. So the summer's coming to an end, but I hope you guys had an incredible summer. Get your little kids off to school. And then in 3 weeks, you'll need a break and you need a night out and you're going to come to Cage Titans September 12th. So have a good night, everybody. Truly appreciate everybody's support. And we'll talk to you soon. Goodbye.
Plymouth, Massachusetts.